Hello everybody, you wonderful, delicious, delightful people. Today I'm going to tell two stories, and these stories are designed to be metaphors for our life, for what we see around us, whatever applies. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So the first story is about a man who has a very naughty donkey. Right? Not a monkey, a donkey. It's very close in spelling, isn't it? He has a naughty donkey. This donkey just won't do anything that it should do. It bites people, it kicks doors down. It's very naughty. But the man loves it. He loves his donkey. He's had it since it was just a little donklet. And so he's confused about what to do, and then one day he's reading a newspaper and he sees a little ad and it says, painless donkey training. And he thinks, wow, painless donkey training. I've got to go for it. You know, I've been looking for a solution. So he phones up the man and the man says, hello, welcome to painless donkey training. And he said, hey, I'm just checking. I've got a donkey. He's very naughty. And I just want to check. The training that you do is painless, isn't it? And the man said, I can assure you, the training is painless. Not only is the training painless, but we have 100% success rate. I can assure you that after spending a week with us, your donkey will be well behaved for the rest of its life. Well, the man, he looked at the price and he thought, hey, it's worth it. You know, I love this donkey and I want it to behave itself. I mean, it could get into trouble if it goes around biting people. So he booked it in for the week-long training. And on the Monday, he took it down to this place, the stables. And there was the man waiting in the courtyard. And he left his donkey and he said, look, I'm really nervous. I love this donkey. You'll take good care of it. And the man said, of course we will. That's our job. And he said, but are you sure it's painless training? And the man said, of course it's painless training. The training is absolutely painless and beautiful. He said, okay, great. Well, I'm leaving my donkey in your hands and I'll be back on Friday. The man said, don't worry about it. So the man walked back to his car, but there was just something going on in his mind. And so what he did was he had a little sneak peek around the corner to watch what the man was doing, the trainer. And as he was watching, he watched the trainer walked over to the corner of a courtyard and he picked up this big, long stick. Very thick stick. And he walked up to the donkey, who was just standing there, belligerently standing there. And he looked the donkey in the eye like this. And then he picked up the stick, he brought it behind his head, and he whacked the donkey on the head. Well, the donkey, boom, fell onto its knees, and it was all shaking, and it was nearly unconscious. Well, the man who was watching, the owner, was furious, as you might imagine, and he went running over to the trainer. He said, stop, what the hell are you doing? And the man looked at him and he said, what's the problem? He said, you said that the training was painless. And the man said, the training is painless. He said, so what are you doing? He said, well, first, I've got to get the donkey's attention. So that is the first story. Make of it what you will. However, it's a system that will be described in the second story. So there's this king of a big land, okay? And he's a busy king. He's got a lot of work on. Every day he's having to do all the nice kingly things like go to places and cut red ribbons and hand medals out and do all the nice stuff. But at the same time, he has all the problems to fix in the kingdom. And there's always every afternoon a big queue of people who want him to listen to the story, arguments about land and animals and he's busy, he never stops. And one day he thought, do you know, I think I just need some help. I need a bit of help. And so he's got his very, very good assistant who's been with him all of his life. And he said, look, assistant, come here. I need some help. I can't manage all of this. This is getting too much. So what I think we should do is this. We should divide the work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all the kingly things, as is my want. All the nice things. I'm going to do all of that. And what I want you to do is I want you to start to have to listen to the people, make decisions, and you also need to punish people. I'm going to do the nice things and you do the punishments and things like that. So sure enough, that's what the faithful assistant started to do. He started to give out the punishments, make the decisions between disputes and things like that. And the king, well, he was loving it, just going around, cutting red ribbons, doing official openings, banquets, balls, the lot. Then, a couple of months in, the king started noticing something strange happening. He noticed that when he went to places, it was like people weren't really that interested in him. They weren't interested. They didn't seem to be like showing very much respect anymore. And yet, when he heard people talking about the assistant, he would hear them say, the assistant, holy cow, he can make your life hell. You have to listen to what he's saying, eh? You have to do what he says because he's got all the power in the kingdom. Well, the king was not happy about that. People were laughing at him and people were taking the assistant far too seriously in his opinion. So one day he said, assistant, come here. This isn't working. People are paying more attention to you than to me. People are respecting you more than to me. And so he said, what we're going to do is we're going to switch roles. From now on, I'm doing the bad stuff. I'm going to set the punishments. I'm going to make the decisions. And you're going to do all the nice stuff. The banquets, the balls, the cutting the red tape, all of that. The assistant said, no problem. And so that's the way it went. And a few months down the line, the king overheard a conversation from the cooks in the kitchen. And one said to the other, hey, you know what? The assistant, he was tough. He was really tough. When he first came in, boy, he was tough. But you know what? Now I'm starting to see the nice side of him. Really deep down, he was a nice guy. I really like him now because he's got a bit of balance. But then they continued. But the king, pretending to be nice, pretending to be so good. Now we're seeing the true side of him. He's just a despot. He's just power hungry, power craving, horrible man. Well, the king was devastated. He didn't know what to do. And fortunately or unfortunately for the king, he didn't need to make a decision, because that very day, all of the crowds came pouring into the palace, took the king and hung him, and they made the assistant the king. And so what's that story about? Well, both stories are about this. The best way, and it's something that I learned when I was in Morocco, I saw it and I dismissed it much to my peril. Whenever we have a new role, we always must come into that role seriously. We must be serious first, then we must be fun, and not the other way around. Okay? Serious first, professional first, doing the job first, then fun. And that's what people like, for whatever reason. However, if we come into the role pretending to be good, pretending to be nice, pretending to be all things, and then later on we get tough, people don't like it, and we get overthrown. And this is, in my opinion, this is where politics fails abysmally every single time. Why? Because when they're on the campaign trail, they are promising everything. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to do this, that, the other, the t'other, and a bit more. And then they get in and they do fuck all. In fact, like we see in the UK, then they get tough on things that they promised they wouldn't get tough on. And this is what really pisses people off. And this is the beautiful thing that I see happening. the baddies are getting tough. They hid behind normal and proper and good and isn't it, ooh, isn't it, ah, isn't it, absolutely, woo. And now they're getting tough. They're doing it the wrong way. It's the wrong way. And they always get overthrown. They always get overthrown. It happens with every dictatorship that leads to whatever, communism or whatever. They start off being very social. Oh, we're here for the people, we're here for you, We're going to give you everything. It's all for you. And then they get tough. And then they get tougher, and then they get tougher until they get overthrown. Just the wrong way around. It's the wrong way around. And that's why it's doomed to failure. Well, that's the end of the stories for today. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.